In June 1983, Lieutenant Colonel Wayne M. McDonald submitted this assessment of the gateway experience to the U.S. Army Operational Group. McDonald's report establishes a radical baseline for intelligence analysis. Solid matter, in the strict construction of the term, simply does not exist. This document frames the study of altered states as a matter of quantum mechanics and biomedical engineering, dismissing occult or mystical frameworks in favor of a technical investigation. The report describes the gateway process as a mechanical exploit designed to override the brain's natural electrical frequencies. Using offset audio frequencies played through stereo headphones, the system forces the left and right hemispheres of the brain to synchronize their electrical output. This military model suggests human consciousness functions as a hackable technology, capable of accessing non-local dimensions for data retrieval. The gateway pipeline begins by targeting the brain's dual architecture. The left hemisphere serves as a linear, binary screening mechanism for all incoming stimuli. In contrast, the right hemisphere functions as a holistic receptor. It is nonverbal and accepts data from the left brain without analytical judgment. Accessing expanded awareness requires bypassing the left brain's constant analytical interference. Methods like hypnosis try to achieve this by simply distracting or boring the left hemisphere into a semi-sleep state. The gateway methodology employs a biological shortcut, the frequency-following response. The audio track introduces two distinct frequencies, for example, a 100 Hz tone in the left ear and a 104 Hz tone in the right. The brain cannot maintain two separate frequencies simultaneously. It calculates the difference between the signals, generating an internal 4 Hz beat. This artificially generated beat drives the brain's overall EEG state down from waking beta waves into deep, sleep-like theta waves. The Army report maps these altered states to the homunculus, specific points along the sensory and motor cortex. By shifting into theta, the system ensures suggestions pass directly to the right hemisphere to stimulate these cortical points. The report uses a precise metaphor to describe the outcome of this hemispheric synchronization, the transition from a lamp to a laser. An unsynchronized mind expends energy like a lamp, scattering its focus in a chaotic, diffuse, and incoherent pattern across the cortex. The Hemi-Sync process creates a laser-like state, resulting in a disciplined, concentrated stream of coherent frequency and amplitude. This forced induction of a high-power neurological state provides the mandatory baseline for the system's subsequent physiological exploits. Once the brain is coherent, the exploit moves to the cardiovascular system, utilizing biomedical engineering models developed by Itzhak Bentov. Under normal conditions, the heart's left ventricle ejects blood in a powerful pressure pulse that travels down the aorta. A specific physiological obstacle called the bifurcation echo prevents the body from achieving systemic resonance. When the pressure pulse reaches the lower abdomen, the aorta forks into the legs. A portion rebounds back up the body, colliding with the next downward pulse from the heart, creating a continuous pattern of destructive wave interference. The deep rest induced by Hemi-Sync causes the heart to lessen its ejection force. This allows the destructive bifurcation echo to fade away. Eliminating this internal echo enables a state of continuous, rhythmic micromotion. The entire skeleton and organ system begin to oscillate up and down by approximately 0.005 to 0.010 millimeters. This movement turns the human body into a coherent oscillator, vibrating identically at 7 to 7.5 cycles per second. This 7.5 Hz frequency matches the Earth's ionospheric cavity resonance. By matching the planet's oscillation, the human body achieves resonance. This resonance puts the body's energy field into a homogeneous relationship with its environment. By aligning with the planetary electrostatic field, the body functions as a tuned antenna, allowing consciousness to exit the physical frame and move into the surrounding energy continuum. Transitioning from classical biomechanics to quantum physics explains how this tuned bodily antenna transmits and receives non-local information. The report's quantum premise describes atoms as grids of energy oscillating at high frequencies. McDonald identifies the absolute boundary of time-space as Planck's distance, 10 to the power of -33 centimeters. This diagram shows a consciousness wave bounded by this mathematical limit. To oscillate, the wave must briefly reach complete rest at its peak and trough. At these exact points, click-out occurs, and the resting point drops below Planck's distance. Mathematically, the wave exits the dimension of time-space and joins a state of infinity termed the absolute. To categorize the data found in the absolute, the report adopts the Pribram-Bohm universal hologram model. This model describes the universe as a complex 3D hologram created by the interaction of energy fields in motion and at rest. The synchronized human mind can interface with this cosmic structure. It harmonizes its own frequency matrix with the carrier waves of the universal hologram. The right brain acts as the receptor for this 3D input, while the left brain reduces it to a 2D binary form for cognitive understanding. The gateway process accelerates brainwave frequency until the wave clicks out so rapidly that it establishes a persistent, unbroken information link with non-local dimensions. Mapping this universal hologram at the macro level reveals its actual shape and the nature of time itself. Itzhak Bentov proposed a cosmic egg model of universal expansion and contraction. Energy is ejected from a central white hole, travels along the shell of the egg, and eventually returns via a black hole. This cycle creates a torus, a self-contained spiral that defines the structure of reality. Because the hologram is generated by matter in all phases of its evolution, the past, present, and future exist simultaneously within the torus. This diagram shows our galaxy's current position within that massive downward flow of time-space. Advanced levels of gateway training use the click-out phenomenon to detach from this physical location. This allows a user to navigate the torus and access past or future energy patterns directly. The 1983 Army report validates the gateway experience as a physics-based protocol for turning the human nervous system into a receiver for intercepting the universal hologram.